Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Astral Tourist, broadcasting live from planet Earth on Halloween 2024. Yay! Happy Halloween, everyone. So, I've been wondering what type of episode to do for Halloween. I hadn't really come up with anything. So last night I just decided to see if I could pop out and find a Halloween party and report on that, like maybe what costumes people were wearing or if anything interesting was going on. So there's actually another episode I've already done, which I think is more Halloweeny, called "The Pagan Witch Party." I'll put that as a link. And if you haven't heard that one yet, and you're in the mood for like a witchy Halloween story, go ahead and click on that one. And if not, then stay tuned. This is not a witchy episode, but I did find a Halloween party. So last night I was able to get out by using direct method just as I was falling asleep. I just kind of phased outside immediately. Didn't even have to try to go through my window or anything. I was just there. And after you do this loads and loads and loads of times, it becomes more natural. And sometimes it really is just that fast. And other times you still got to work at it. Sometimes I still fall on the floor. So keep practicing, everyone. So I got out. I was in the air in the nighttime sky. And I'm not sure how far or how long I flew for, but I know I didn't make it all the way down to New York City. So I found this party like between Canada and New York City. I'm going to say like maybe down in the Catskills area of New York, possibly. And anyway, what I do at night when it's so dark out, and usually I'm flying around in the woods or something, is I look for lights and just activity like that. And sometimes I'll try to feel it out too, but I just wanted to fly around and see if anything was close before I went further out. And so before I got down into New York City, I did see this one huge place that was totally lit up with lights. And as I got closer, I could tell it was like a mansion-sized place. I think it was whitish. I couldn't tell the details that much in the dark. So I just kind of phased in there to see what was going on and, see if I'd be welcome or not. The place was loaded with people and beings and in the astral. So I don't think anybody even really noticed that I wasn't invited or, I didn't feel unwelcome though. So I don't know if this was just a general party for everyone in the area because there are these astral meeting locales that are kind of just for everyone to gather in. So this might have been one of those, or they just might not have cared that one more person has come to their party, that, they had hundreds and hundreds of people there. I wouldn't say thousands, like maybe two or 300. I don't know. I didn't like count them all. And there were like a couple of different floors. I could tell that. But I was on the bottom floor where I phased in. And, there were so many people, and some were in costumes. Some were just like in their pajamas, but others had these wonderful gowns on, like ball gowns and princess outfits. There were a lot of those. And the colors were like whites and creams and a lot of greens too. And I noticed some people were wearing more like just robes and like witches' hats, but they weren't black. And I think I can tell you why. Because black is really hard to see in the astral unless you're really looking for somebody and know that person really well. And if you want to be seen in the astral, like at a Halloween party, you don't wear black. So, like, these witchy hats were pointed, but they were like these other colors too, like the greens and the whites, and like some had sparkles and little, like, some even had like Christmas lights on the end, what looked to me like Christmas lights, like those bulb ones, only without the wires and everything. There were no wires. Like sometimes there'd just be like this light sticking on top of the pointed part of the hats. And I thought that was really clever. Like, that's a great way to be seen. Put a big light on top of yourself. Dance around, floating and spinning. So this place was pretty fun. And not I don't think everybody could see me, but some people could. There was this one man who looked like he was in his 70s, I'm guessing, and he was just in his pajamas, but he looked particularly lucid. He wasn't really busy dancing or anything or floating around spinning, so I didn't feel bad interrupting him. And, I don't know why I didn't think to look at my own self to see what I was wearing. I'm kind of like kicking myself a little bit now, too, because as I fell asleep, I didn't even think to like focus on what I might be wearing for a costume. My entire focus was to find a Halloween party and report on others' costumes. And in that focus, I totally forgot to like tell myself to put something on. So I didn't know what I might be wearing. And since I wasn't like 100% lucid, I was like maybe a 7 out of 10 lucid. I didn't remember to just use 360 and look at myself, the 360 vision. So I was approaching this older gentleman in his pajamas, just regular, striped pajamas, cotton pajamas. He had a little bit of a gray beard, not too much, and, looked pretty well put together, very lucid. And so that's why I approached him and I asked him um, what I looked like to him. Like, what am I wearing? What do I look like to you? This is all telepathy. Like, what do you see when you look at me? And he just said blue. And so I asked him again for clarification, like if he could see an outfit or, what shade of blue or anything else. And the only reply I got back after that was sky blue. And then he drifted off, and I didn't want to like pester him. So I don't know. Maybe my costume was a sky blue color, or maybe I was just sky blue and I was going as the sky. I don't know. But that was my costume, whatever that was. Sky blue. There I was. I'm sky blue for that party, or any party I was going to find, I imagine. So that was kind of funny. I mean, it's funnier the more I think about it, but at the time I was a little disappointed, and I guess I still am that I didn't like do more to dress myself up for this party or whatever party I would find. But that's the way it is. I was super focused on finding a party and I was successful. So that's the good news. So I continued to wander around and I found this huge room filled with like a light golden warm light over on the left-hand side of the bottom floor of this mansion. And I drifted in there to take a look around and again, people were dressed with these lights to light themselves up. Uh, the costumes in here, though, were mainly birthday suits, so I don't want to get too much into that. But I did find it interesting how they were using special lighting again on themselves, and in these instances, it was like the lights were kind of embedded into them, like the Christmas bulb lights, right? But kind of meshed into their auras. I thought that was really cool. One lady did come over to say hi to me, kind of made a pass at me, and I had to tell her, no, thank you. Um, one, I don't swing that way, and two, in the astral, I don't usually do that because it shortens the astral projection. So she took it pretty well. I mean, there's loads of people there, right? So she was going to find somebody anyway to have her fun with, and you know, happy Halloween to her. And she wished me well, and off she floated, making the rounds. I don't know, but I did like the use of the lighting and the lights as just to light themselves up, maybe. But since they were colorful lights, maybe that was supposed to be a light costume. Light costumes, I should say. Almost everybody in that room had these kinds of lights again on them, and I really liked that idea, and I'm going to remember that. Like, maybe poke some Christmas lights into my aura or something once in a while, and maybe that'll light me up. So I continued floating around, and I floated out the back wall. There was this huge deck area outside. It was still nighttime. And there was grass beyond the deck, and then I was planning to just kinda shoot up into the air and continue exploring, maybe even find another party to check out, or whatever. And I kind of got across the deck, partway into the yard, when in my 360 vision, I saw this bearded man floating out after me. And I could tell he wanted to speak with me. So he got closer and said hello. I could tell he had blondish red hair with a mustache and beard. And he was dressed as a Scotsman in his kilt and like some type of a plaid shirt. And I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be his costume. So that's what he was dressed as. But when I asked him about it telepathically, the word medieval was also used. So maybe he's going, I'm thinking, as a medieval Scotsman. And so he also told me that his mistress hoped I would stay. So I think he was there role playing with somebody who's his mistress, or if he passed a long time ago, maybe he just meant like his wife or something, but I don't know. I didn't get more explanation about who she was. Maybe she's the one that is having this party, I'm thinking though. And the reason that that would be the case, that she would hope I'd stay, even though maybe I don't even know her, is when you have a big party like that, the more people you have there, the more cohesion you have in the general area, like to maintain the energy of the mansion and everything that goes into the party and everything. It's just, it adds to the energy and the party can go longer. Stuff like that. When you have more people, it just adds to the mix. But I told him, no, I made my excuses and thanked him for the party and everything. Made my apologies for leaving early. And he asked me if, since I was leaving anyway, this is kind of a funny request, I thought. But he asked me if I would scratch his beard, like just a little scratch, like nothing intimate or anything, just a scratch, like he would scratch a cat or something. And so as I got closer to his beard to look at it, it was really finely done. So he put a lot of energy into that beard and mustache for this party. And so I think what he really wanted was like a little touch up to it, so it would last longer. So I went ahead and I scratched it a little bit, like you'd scratch a cat behind the ears, only I was scratching his beard a little bit, a little on each side and a little on the bottom. I even like did a little bit with one finger along his mustache there. It gave him just a little bit of energy and touching up his beard. And he was very happy and thanked me for that. And I just thought it was such a funny ask, but very amusing. Um, but I was happy to do that. And so he went back to the party. I went shooting up into the air, flying around. I remember it was kind of, I could feel like a cool temperature. I know I zoned out for a while I was out there. And the next time I became lucid, I was up in the clouds and it looked like they were snowing, but there was also lightning. Um, so I don't know if it can lightning when it's snowing at the same time. I have to look that up, but that's what it looked like. I don't know how far I went, but I must have been high in the mountains somewhere, I think, if it was snowing and having lightning too. And I love storms. So, unconsciously even, I would have like been right up in there as close as I could be. And I saw the lightning going all around. In this one particular spot, it was very, very clear and almost kind of in slow motion. I could see it forming, getting ready to bolt downwards. So here's the tip. I always like to include a little tip, which is some people ask how you can last longer in the astral. And one of the secrets is that you can absorb energy from storms. So, in the case of like a lightning storm, you might want to be careful because if you get too shocked or full of energy, it can startle you and wake you up. So, you might just want to like if you're new at this, get close to the storm and absorb those ions and that energy like from a little bit of a distance. But as you get really good at it, you can get in there right next to the lightning and even have the lightning come right into you and give your astral battery like this super full charge. And I think it feels wonderful, but I'm used to it and I've been doing that for years. If you're new at this, yeah, start slow, just kind of get close to storms and work your way closer in some at a time as you gain more experience. And if you're not sure if it'll wake you up, wait until you're about to wake up anyway. And if there's a storm nearby, you might as well shoot up there and see if it helps you prolong your astral projection. So happy Halloween. I will drop that pagan witch party link, which is the witchier Halloween episode for this year, I guess. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day and evening. Have fun if you're wearing a costume. And oh, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much.